Yeah, not so much fun when you're on the other side, is it? Right. I need a documenter. Hands up if you want to document. Come on down. Hi, I'm Tom.
Hello, Rob Morgan, ACP.
Nice to meet you. Are you willing to wear a shirt, Rob?
Am I willing to wear a shirt? Yes.
Yeah. There you go. So, say hello to the audience.
Hello, audience.
Now say hello to the future.
Hello, future.
Keep filming. Point and shoot. Film whatever you want. This is for posterity. I'm going to call you camera from now on. A movie camera is like having someone you have a crush on watching you from afar. You pretend it's not there. Stop hard. Music! Hands up if you want to do some graffiti. Graffiti. What? Come on.
Everybody knows how the dice are loaded.
This side. Come down.
Fingers crossed. Everybody knows that the war is over. Everybody knows the guy's lost. Everybody knows that fine was fixed, so the poor stay poor. The rich get rich. That's how it goes. And everybody knows. Everybody knows that the boat is leaking. Everybody knows the captain lies. Everybody's got this broken feeling. It's like the dog just died. And everybody's talking to their pockets. And everybody wants a box of chocolates and a lonely stand rose. Yeah, and everybody knows. And everybody knows, yeah, everybody knows, that's just how it goes, yeah, everybody knows. And everybody knows that you love me, baby. Everybody knows you really do. And everybody knows that you've been faithful. What people talking about too. And everybody knows you've been discreet, but there were so many people who just had to leave without no clothes. Yeah, and everybody knows. And everybody knows that it's now or never. Everybody knows that it's me or you. And everybody knows that you live forever. And you don't lie to. And everybody knows that.
So, who would like to have a little bit of a revolution? Yeah! Right, this is an experimental revolution. A scratch revolution. I have my script. This revolution has notes. It has a plan. Maybe it will work. Maybe it won't. I hope I don't get lynched. This is a common fear. When I was working on my first full-length play, Higher, I had a scene where Judas Iscariot was violently lynched. I was thinking about it, planning how to hang a man on a stage, and I fell down some stairs. I had to go and have a lie down after that. I remembered this when I had to put tights over my face the other month. I believe I fear hanging. It's not a stupid fear. Hanging is not the way I will kill myself. So, I'd like to have a little bit of a revolution, revolutionette. If it's okay with you. If it's not, you can sit at the back. Revolution is not for everyone. Change is quite scary. Right, first of all, I have a caveat. I need to mark you so I know you're on my side. Right, there. red blood. We have to build a community, you understand? Oh, I also have wine. I was expecting us all to just throw it back like brothers, but health and safety was against that, so I have another caveat. It was all that they had in the shop. It's for a princess party, but I'm sure it'll hold the grape juice just fine. Well, you can have no wine and some paint, but you can't have wine and no paint. Paint is for champions. Oh, don't worry, it washes off. I have wet wipes. So, if you'd like to join the revolution, please come up and be marked. You can wine.
Wine?
Marvellous. I'll tell you what, mark yourself.
Word.
Just anywhere, so people can tell. I know it's not the smartest way of running an underground revolution, but it helps me. That's for you.
Thanks.
That's for you. You're very polite. I like that.
To what do we toast? Should we wait?
Wait until everyone who's marked. Yeah.
Do you want to be marked?
Yeah, where's the thing?
One for me. It's all fair. Everyone gets relatively equal amounts. There you go. No problem. Cameron, do you want a drink? There you go. Good camera. So, if you want to come up and join us later, you can. Try and find the paint. Take it off other people if you can. Mingle. Community. Kinship. Or if any of you want to go back to your chairs, you can. Freedom. Can I just say right now that I love you? I know that's not said enough. No, I don't want any rumpety-pumpety, but you need to know you are loved. We need more love in revolution. You guys... You know what, I've changed my mind. You can have wine if you don't want the paint. That wasn't very nice of me. I wasn't very loving, I'm very sorry. So, if you're ready, shall we start? Okay. The words are very simple. La beauté est dans la rue. Let's see if we can get this started. Fists in the air, try not to spill your wine. Your beauté est dans la rue. La beauté est dans la rue. La beauté est dans la rue. La beauté est dans la rue. You can march if you like. La beauté est dans la rue. 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 Beauté est dans la rue. Stop. I'm tired and I'm dizzy now. Well, if you want to lie down too, you can, or you can go back to your chairs. I'm not your mother. I want to be a situationist. I want to be a Dadaist. I want to be a neo-futurist. I am a psychogeographer, so I'm sort of on the ladder. I want to be beautiful in my actions. Oh, this floor is going to get sticky. Well, I brought paper towels to clean the floor. I brought wet wipes to clean the faces. I brought the pail to make wassail. What a shit revolution. In May of 1968, the people of Paris revolted. Workers went on strike and the students of the École des Beaux-Arts took hold of the printing studios and created posters of revolution. The students fought the bourgeoisie of the art world, or the bougie as they're now known across the ocean. They fought de Gaulle. The students used screen painting as it was the fastest way to mass produce posters. They worked around the clock. Posters to be put around the city. Weapons. If I was doing this show beyond the scratch, I'd show you some. They were pretty. I would describe one. It is designed with red paint. A picture of a long-haired student throwing a brick. Above is written, "La beauté est dans la rue." Simple, single colour with a slogan. Thousands of them. All across the streets. The burning, churning streets. Oh, well, despite the claim the revolutionaries didn't want the posters to be art. They didn't want them to be a thing of beauty. To be hung on the walls to be admired. No. To use them for their decorative purpose. To consider themselves as anything else but aesthetic interest is to impair their function and their effect. 1968, OTR pop there. Keep calm and carry on. Hope. Change. Oh, don't shoot me, I'm worth more to you alive, Guevara. I came across the Paris riots, Guy Debord, Georges Perec, and the Situationists because some cunt threw a fridge off a roof. I'm not going to talk about that now. If I ever do more of this piece, I will talk about that. I will talk about A. Void and Gadsby. I will talk about how I convinced a girl with a squirrel puppet to come and waltz with me at an embassy for a man who had had his bicycle stolen. I'm sorry I said cunt. Look, I want a strong word that doesn't insult the lady faces. I'll keep searching for it. Mea culpa, maximo culpa. No, punishment. I will say 3, 2, 1, and then you will all shout the strongest swear word you know at me, okay? So, 3, 2, 1!
Motherfucking shit cunt!
That's a good one.
That hurt. And yet I still love you. I am looking for beauty in the streets. It has become my rule, my driving force. As an artist, as a man, same thing. I'm searching for beauty. The beauty. Mostly outside. Which is nice as it goes worldwide. Psychogeography. You find nice cafes and gardens and cats being consumed by worms. Oh, I'm not going to lecture you on not looking around enough. On looking at your phones or the internet instead of going down alleyways and over walls. Or searching for benchmarks. There's beauty on the internet, on your phones. But I'm not worrying about that at the moment. It's the streets that drive me. Oh, I'm going to talk about benchmarks if I do the full show. They are beautiful. I'm not beautiful. I'm lacking. Well, better a crawling ape than a fallen angel. Oh, no, I don't mean pretty when I say beauty. I mean, well, I'm working on what I mean. I know to beware attractive beauty. It's amazing how complete is the illusion that beauty equals goodness, says Tolstoy. That stuff hurts the soul. Causes Tosca. It's a well-known fact that in New York, you will spot the most drop-dead eyes, gougingly beautiful person just the moment before the doors slam shut and you are taken away. This is the subway gods taunting you. They don't like grumpety or pumpety. They don't like people very much. You do not deserve carnal pleasure, just enjoy the beauty. The tube gods do not like people throwing themselves in front of the trains. It slows things down terribly. I would not kill myself throwing myself under a train. I took a small group recently to Postman's Park to see what's memorial to heroic sacrifice. A plaque, park, common folk had all lost their lives saving others. I learnt about it from lone twins Daniel hit by a train. Now that was beauty. A show about every soul in that park. Many, in fact, hit by trains. Across from me were 2 young women, part of a group from Winchester University. They were on a date. They whispered during the show, and I observed them across the space. They giggled and held hands, and that then developed into kissing. Kissing as lone twin talked about people drowning in swamps. I watched the change from lesbian-like into lesbian love. It was beautiful, but inside, so I'm not going to talk about it. Some years later, a friend of mine ripped a small piece out of Time magazine about the park and thrust it inside my mouth. "Go," he said. That was neither beautiful or outside, so I'm not talking about that either. We stood before the plaques in Postman's Park and, well, some of them were heartbreaking. David Selves, aged 12 of Woolwich, supported his drowning playfellow and sank with him clasped in his arms. September 12th, 1886. Others, well, it was a different time. The deaths were odd in deed and in wording. Sarah Smith, pantomime artist, at Prince's Theatre died of terrible injuries received when attempting in her inflammable dress to extinguish the fire that had enveloped her companion, January 24th, 1853. The worst, I feel, was Thomas Griffin, fitters labourer, April 12th, 1889. In a boiler explosion at a Battersea sugar refinery, was fatally scalded and returning to search for his mate. Boiled alive. Hell of a way to go. I don't want to die by burning. Why is so much of this show about death, eh? Wait, is this show about my death? Am I dead? If I am dead, I don't think this is the worst afterlife. If I am dead, there, I've cracked it. I can move on, unless there's something worse. Worrying. Wait, what is this show about? Death, heroics, wine, situationism, beauty, love, going for a walk. Oh, what is the point? Who cares about beauty? Beauty is unbearable. Drives us to despair, offering us for a minute the glimpse of an eternity that we would like to stretch out for the whole of time. Camus. I need another volunteer. Look, I promise I'm not going to do anything weird like spit wine into your mouth. Unless anyone wants me to spit wine into their mouth. I kind of want to do that now. No! Focus. Okay, hands up who's willing to be my friend. Okay. Right, you start. You're in bold.
What do I say?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Script.
I have a name.
I'm taking it away from you. We're now called Script.
Why?
Dramatic conceit. Like how camera is now just camera. It's what the ruling classes do. Take things away. My show, my way.
Is this the show now?
Yes.
Why?
I get lonely. I wanted a friend, so I invented one.
Do you want a hug?
Yes, please.
No.
Why?
It said I have to say no.
It also said that, or what you just said.
Yes.
Can you hug someone else and pretend they're me?
I suppose.
Camera will be my friend. So what's next?
Put in a quote about beauty. A nice quote to make people like you.
No, I don't want to. I'm tired. I wanted a hug and you said no.
You told me not to hug you. You typed it.
I'm complex!
Just think of a good quote.
Love of beauty is taste. The creation of beauty is art.
Emerson. Good choice. You feel better now?
Yes. Thanks.
That's okay, Tom. I love you.
I love you too, Script.
Have another drink. Do you still think you're not beautiful?
A little.
I think you're handsome.
Not the same thing.
Beauty is whatever gives joy.
That's nice.
Edison Vincent Millay.
I don't know who that is.
But you wrote me.
No, you're smarter than me. You're Script. You get to say smart things. I'm all icky, made of bones.
Why are you drinking?
I don't know. I like the colour. I like the blood like red. I like wine.
Beauty is worse than wine. It intoxicates both the holder and the beholder.
Huxley!
See? You're not stupid.
Never said I was.
You want to move on? Tell them a Beauty in the Street story.
It's not that good a story.
You said it was what they call a meet cute. People want you to marry her.
Oh, it's weird. It's not cute. They think I'm weird. I don't know anything about her.
It's fine. You're just being silly. How about I get someone to play her?
No, I'm too sad and tired. I'll do it in the main show.
So you're just going to end it like this? You owe them the story.
You ever build a thing and realise it's not that great?
Like this show?
It made me happy, and yes, I think it was a perfect example of BEAUTÉ, but you break it down and it's nothing but a void.
A lacuna.
Why would I bring it up? Who would care?
I care.
You only care because I told you to. You only care because I wrote it down and you're reading it. I'm as much of a victim here. I've been talking about beauty and revolution and France and death and death and death. You are not my friend. You are some sap who thought it would be cool to get up on stage, that's all. So much time for so very little.
The time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time.
Maybe.
Do it.
Audience, I promise little.
But the reward?
Middle to high payout. Yay or nay, audience, would you like to hear the story?
Yay!
A yay! Okie dokie, artichokes, the last two are script, take a bow. Okay, so I'm going to need a me and a her. Do I have any volunteers? Could be either sex, me or her.
I'll be you.
Okay, I need a her. Come down, you're a her. Okay, I'm going to need the chair script. You can stay on stage by all means, but I'll tell you what, let's move the chair forwards. Okay, so he, if you could walk off the stage left, her on the chair, just go ahead. Standing on the chair. Oh, great. Okay, just go with the flows, mummy, down ears. Okay, so I think it's time to blow this scene, get everybody's stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Just go with it. Once upon a time, there was a young man who was walking along the streets of Edinburgh. He should have been flying for his own show, but he was too busy thinking about life and beauty and trying not to get rained on. Then he saw a young woman standing on a bollard. She was wearing a fluffy hat and a big fluffy coat. Ah, he thought, this elevation is unusual. And she appears to be dressed like a Cossack. I must meet her. So he went over. He was a silly little fool that thought if he was in the right place at the right time, he would have an adventure. He enjoyed adventures. This is dangerous. The young man was suffering from Tosca, which is a Russian word from Russia. Nabokov described it as a longing with nothing to long for. He was looking for the beauty in the streets at one level and trying to avoid ennui at another. So our hero smiled at the Russian. I give hugs, she screamed.
I give hugs!
She had a Russian accent to go with her hat.
I give hugs! I give hugs!
So everything was chugging along rather nicely. So he went to her and they hugged. It was warm against the cold Scottish air and they held on to each other. It went past an embrace and into a cuddle, which was nice. People shouted, "Get a room!" Audience,
Get
a room! But the young man didn't want a room. He was enjoying what was happening right now. They released. The embrace, the embracing was what was released. Just. The Russian stared at the man. "What is your show?" the young man asked.
What is your show?
She seemed surprised. "My show?"
My show?
If this was his show, he thought, I might ask her to marry me. As you see, he was running on little sleep and mostly drama at this point. Sadly for the narrative, she was doing a quote, proper unquote show. It involved bonsai trees and tomatoes and carrots and garter belts. The young man sat in the front row because he was very tall and liked being a pest. At one point, the Russian advanced on the audience and she winked at him. The young man's mentor was sure that she winked at all the boys, but the young man liked to think he had made a friend. Friends give each other saucy winks. After the show, he talked to her, and she was in fact Lithuanian, which is next to Latvia, where the young man's family had come from, so they could bond over that. She then said he talked too fast and too much English, so she went away. Instead, go away. Instead, he talked to her castmate. I need a castmate. Anyone. There you go. Who told him she was called Justina, and they had formed a company at drama school. A drama school called Central, on a course called Advanced Theatre Practice. The young man was excited as he was going to do the same course. The castmate said he would enjoy himself and then walked away. The young man was getting used to people walking away. He thought his story needed an ending, but then he remembered that fortunate people often have very favourable beginnings and very tragic endings. Whatever matter is being applauded when you arrive, for that is common, does not matter, but what matters is being missed when you leave. Big hand for the cast! I'm going to stop now. I'm tired and I'm sad. That seemed like a nice ending. I'm not sure what the show's about. It's about beauty or sacrifice or politics, or it's just the ramblings of a drunk madman. Camera, thank you for being here. You're my favourite. I don't think I found beauty. I'm going to have a nap. This is the end, so I'm going to just lie here for a bit. Please do give feedback. Help yourself to wet wipes. You can clap if you like. Music!
Don't stop the talking. I could talk all night. My mind's been sleepwalking while I've been telling the world information. Have you got yourself in that occupation?
Well, that was cool.
That sure was a thing.
So, your 10 minutes start now. Any feedback, any things that you want to say to that one?
So, A, your writing was very clever,
Thank you.
and I rarely say that. I'm serious.
No, I'm
I'm
taking
very
that.
judgmental of writing, even though I can't write for shit. And B is that I wanted to shout out things
Yes.
at you, which is not something that I ever want to do. And I don't know how much you want that from your
I'm
audience.
happy from shout
But
out.
the
I don't have
effect
to
was
listen.
that I wasn't quite sure if I
Yeah.
could, but I wanted to so many times. Like,
I
there's
think
so
I
many
heard
things
you
I wanted
guys
to
going,
yell.
you are laughing.
Like, there are so many things I want to yell at you, so just know that.
I usually really, from an audience member's point of view, dislike going on stage and doing stuff. And I really want you to get on stage with me. This is so much fun. And because what you're doing was really kind and gentle, like I didn't feel threatened, which is a nice way to feel as an audience member. And I also really enjoyed the way you changed the space. It looks very different now than it did at the start.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you? I'm probably asking this because I know that you're into like relational and immersive stuff. So it's okay if the answer to this question is no. But do you genuinely want the audience to intervene?
I think I'd be interested to see what happens.
Okay.
I'm very much of the feeling that if you do give the audience an option, you have to respect it. You don't necessarily have to go with it. But you know, if you had to say no, I do love you, I'd have to acknowledge that.
Because I did say that during the script.
Yeah,
Didn't
and
I wondered if that was
yeah.
a choice.
No, I think that's interesting. Again, if if you get into the frame of mind, oh, I'm just going to let my audience do whatever I want, it's just going to turn into anarchy. But I want to build a proper relationship with my audience. I think. I was saying, it's most immersive stuff is scary, that you feel that the performers are turning on you and mocking you, but that's very much taking that burden on my shoulders. I'm the mess, and you guys, again, if you know, I think there was that bit where I said, you're not my friend, and you reacted to that because it's a lie, you know. It's a process I'm working through, kind of, very, very much I want to be able to do immersive stuff with people who think, oh no, not for me, because they're going to mock me. Actually, I'll tell you sort of how I got into it from a very young age. When I was a kid, I went to see a Sesame Street show, and they said, oh no, we've got some good seats here, sit here, so they moved us. And then partway through the show, some bad birds kidnapped my father to go on stage and dressed him like a bird and made him dance. And again, my dad's not a theatre person. It's kind of amazing that he comes to see my stuff, but he's just the utter fury, and I'm in tears because some evil birds have stolen my dad. And so that stuck there. I had another example when a few years ago I went to see a show and one of the actors throttled me. Again, I was young. He was wearing a sack over his head and just came choking me. I was like, you can't do that. You can't. Oh wait, you can. But that's not the sort of stuff I want to do. I want it, you know. As I said, I'm taking this on my shoulders. It's my horrible journey, and the fact that if you did suddenly say no, not doing this, it would be an interesting experience to actually. Again, I think it's a very different audience because, looking at everyone in this room knows me, and so there's that kind of. Sorry, I'm just rambling.
No, but even irrespective of that burden, I don't think, even if with a group of strangers, it would be a burden because the environment, as Jen said, that you've created is one where it's, even though it's a revolution, and your character, for want of a better word, is a bit cray. You create an environment that is fun and more where people want to engage, so I don't think that would be burdensome. But I do think, like, one of the strongest points of the writing, which is very, very good, is that you completely acknowledge the situation that you're in, that it is a scratch, that we are very much here, and that we're this audience who identify with words like Tosca and Lacuna because they come in jokes as part of our culture. And I wonder how far you can take that in terms of not just the text, but the audience relationship, because that's really interesting. And that's something I'm really attracted to, and I acknowledge that that's because it's partly my taste, but also because objectively it's very, very good, and you're very skilled at it. So do more of that.
I think audiences might, I've been saying this to somebody, that that's an idea of intimacy, that you come in here and I want to. And I think, again, that's interesting that the two of you stayed on the stage. And again, some of you just go, we've had enough. But again, I put that rule out. I said, you know, if you want to come on stage, you can. If you want to leave, you can. No judgment. We understand that this is a big thing I'm asking. Any other questions?
I love how actually I did feel like there was a revolution. We were thinking that revolution. All of us wanted to shout out, and Danny did, and that is the revolt against what's happening. I thought it was very clever. You also have a really, really magical use of withholding information, which was tormenting. It was so beautiful, and you dropped them in very subtly, and I really want to know some of the endings of these stories because you just dropped them in so incredibly.
I think that was, again, for me, a wonderful moment when I just started to say, this is not how I will kill myself, and I just saw you go, you know, again, it's that weird, again, it's I like just scattering this little bit of information out there.
And so,
and again, there's another bit I took out of the script, I'm not sure why I did, but, you know, almost tormenting her, going, you're going to be different in the actual show, you're not going to be this, I'm going to destroy you, and we build things out of your body, you know, that kind of, that. Again, if we're trying to create a sort of relatively friendly atmosphere and then just go, it's mostly self-loathing, I mean, scripts are version of myself, but, Anything else? Yes.
I missed the first few minutes of feedback, so stop me if this was already said. But I think it is the similar thought that Anne got. I think especially in the beginning as you're building that relationship, you can trust yourself and slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
Was that already said?
No,
okay.
No, but it's
there are some parts where you are like the most likable revolutionary. You have this your stage presence and your charm makes people want to root for you. You know, we want to, like, you were right there, and I think part of it is having the script in your hand, and part of it is just trust yourself and slow down a little, because you've got some amazing punchlines too, that like a little space.
Yeah.
It just brings us in that much more and that much more quickly. It was really, and I loved being on stage the whole time. It was great. It was like, cool, okay.
I have to say, Tom, like, maybe this is just me, but from like a personal point of view, the stage really does set you on fire. That's like the most focused I've ever seen you in my life.
Yeah,
Like,
I get that.
you really shine, babe, so just trust that, because it's extraordinary.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Thank you.
It was the most still I think I've ever seen you. You know what I mean? Like there's something confident.
But you hit.
Yeah.
Thank you. Again, thank you all for watching. You've been a good audience.
Thanks for the line.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got 2 minutes.
Okay, Annie.
2 minutes.
Camera number 2.
I know how important like some of these stories are and how like emotional like you are connected with them. So to be able to present that in a way that's not only engaging for an audience but I'm tailing off here. But yeah. My grasp of the English language is terrible.
I also think it's interesting that, you know, the story I tell, the only person beside myself who knows is Nick, you know, from, what was it, Sunshine Apparatus. Again, just ran into them in Edinburgh, and I was like, can I tell a story about some of the, yeah, I'll tell that story. Because it was honestly a really nice moment, and I was like, you know, it was better than the show. I give hugs, I was like, a lot of people do this, but it's okay. Yeah.
I like sorry.
Yeah.
I like that you changed the names.
Yeah.
At the time, I think it's quite witty somehow. But then when you're talking about immersive theatre, I was thinking, well, maybe actually, just to hear what people felt, maybe it's helpful in terms of being part of the show to have your name
constantly
change.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like having a mask or something. Did anyone? I think I'd rather be called Cameron than be called Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, you've been given the role, you know, say it for the milestone.
Yeah. It's true. I was more comfortable being you than. There were moments sitting there because we were sitting there for so long, and I was like, oh, maybe he expected me to go sit down. And I wasn't sure. But then as soon as you were like, okay, I'll be you, it did get a lot more comfortable. I felt like I knew what to do.
I didn't get called in this production, but that's the central thing in the ring which I went saw, and I think and I think you did the same thing that artist did with when you have that name. There's a lovely freedom that you have a mystery of figuring out who this person is and what they mean to the artist and how you can and how you want to, if you want to fill that role or not, and you have a lovely but it's also you can become that person. And there's so much possibility and choice and freedom, and also lack of judgment, because whoever it is, it's not.
Yeah.
So I think that was nice.
Again, I find it very exciting that I'd sort of turn around and Rob suddenly moves. Like, the camera's over there now. But again, that's something I'm interested in. You know, we have to document. I'm interested in. Let's make this part of the piece then, this internal documentation. See how that works. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you very much.
So we've got a little interval, mostly to clear this up, and me to put stuff out, and me to have a little wee. I'd recommend a wee. So yeah, 10 minutes. Let's see if we can do this. Cool.
I need one of these for my face and be what helped you.